This week we talk Fastlane, Breed Wrestling heads to the Sheffield City Hall, and Kurt Angle announces his retirement. Welcome to Staring at the Lights with Rob and Ethan.
Hello.
And Tom is back with us.
Hey.
I'm back, everybody.
A nice one.
Hello. Nice to be back.
This week we've had Fastlane.
I quite like to, just me and you, Rob.
Yeah.
Well, the
It's nice to
listening
not have to
figures
do
did
this
not
anymore.
agree.
Didn't really change
They didn't
very
relate
often.
that, so
Well, commitment off me neck.
yeah.
It's quite nice. No, it's a pleasure
No,
to be
it's
back,
nice
lads.
to have you back, mate.
Thanks.
It's great.
Thanks,
Missed
pal.
you.
Thanks.
Feels nice having the three of us back in the same room again.
The trio.
Quite sentimental about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
This week we've had Fastlane.
Woo!
The last pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
Always a banger.
Always goes great.
Always an absolute banger.
Yeah.
I've never really liked Fastlane because I just don't think anything really
It's always been shit.
happens with any storyline.
Well, no, it ever will,
progresses
because
it.
you can't move out because it's me.
No, but I mean, before this week, there wasn't really many matches that we knew about that were going to be happening. It seemed like the last 3 nights we've had since like Fastlane, Raw, and SmackDown. There's a lot more matches have come about now and been sort of finalised that we're going to get. But overall, I don't really. It was not a bad pay-per-view. The Asuka Mandy Rose
No, it
match
wasn't bad.
seemed a little rushed. It seemed to like the ending seemed to be a bit rushed. I don't think it was a botch or anything. Slipping out, so obviously.
I just think they had
planned and
trouble going
everything.
to the finish, really. I mean, even the referee, like I pointed out to you the other day, because it was kind of like a shenanigans thing with Sonya Deville, where they had the ring apron was supposed to be further in the ring than it was, I think, and you saw the referee kind of going down to adjust it. It looked like he was pushing it out, but whether he was trying to look like that for the sake of,
I think he tried to look like he was kicking it out, back it out again. Because she went to one
didn't really
side.
trip up on anything.
That's what he should do as a referee. Like.
Because she went to one side and like lifted the ring apron up, and they showed her like, oh, what's she looking for out there, and she didn't do anything. And then she goes to the other side and opens it up and pulls a kendo stick out, but by that point Mandy Rose has slipped on it and then took a hell of a heel kick off
of
Asuka and
brutal.
then lost the match.
Yeah.
So I get that they were trying to make a point of Sonya's kind of caused her to slip and make that mistake for then Asuka to pin her, but I think they just left it a bit late. That last sort of segment of the match seemed really like rushed really quickly.
It was definitely rushed.
I think they should have had Sonya kind of, go to the ring at one point, leave, one open, maybe leave that first ring apron up so the ref kicks it back.
Yeah.
And then the second one, and he doesn't get it in time, and then that's when she slips on it. But it just seemed a little rushed, really.
You never know.
Yeah, maybe.
There's two things that stood out to me from a story perspective is that I think it was only a few months ago that they had Mandy and Sonya fall out. I think it was, it's probably longer ago than I'm thinking. I think it was around Royal Rumble. They fell out over something, and it was like they were teasing towards this big fallout, and then they did a promo on YouTube where they just went, "Oh, I bought you some donuts, now we're best friends again," and they went back into that.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was so kind of insignificant, but they had it for a few weeks where they were kind of semi-feuding.
They teased something about of like, well, if it comes to it in the Rumble, I'm going to be putting you out of the ring and everything. So yeah, they just didn't really. But now they seem to be kind of hot on the heels of teasing another breakup between the two.
Yeah, but they went in so hot with Mandy as well, which it's kind of struck me a little bit, because even though she technically didn't lose clean because she got kind of done in by a mate, it's like they had her beat Asuka, even though it wasn't clean the week before, which I don't know. I was expecting a little bit more out of this match. I thought they maybe would have prolonged the story between Asuka and Mandy a little bit, but it looks like they're kind of directing Asuka off into something else and having maybe a Mandy Sonya program going into Mania. Probably going to land on the pre-show, if I'm honest, if they do anything that way.
If I'm honest, I don't.
Who knows?
No, we're as of recording like 27 days away from Mania. So I don't think that's enough time to build a match like that between Mandy and Sonya. I think we'll probably see another Asuka Mandy Rose match at Mania.
Do you think?
I don't know who else in the women's SmackDown division though that they've got any plans for. Because
Charlotte and Becky are SmackDown superstars, and they're tied up chasing the Raw title for some reason, which doesn't make sense.
This is the thing. Like we've said it before. Like they've cannibalized their own women's division because they're so focused on those other three. It's a strange one.
Yeah.
But it was alright. She took that spinning kick well and genuinely got clocked in the face with it. Yeah, she did a good job of taking it. The next thing I think we saw was Kofi getting invited into the McMahon office to get a bit of news and then be told, you know what, you've worked hard, you're going to be put into the triple threat match the main event is now going to be a triple threat match.
It's true, but
then he came out and then they said, actually, it's not you that's in it, you're going to be facing the Bar.
I like it, but he ain't going to win at Mania. I don't think he'd be involved at Mania. So like, what's the point in it all?
I think he probably. I don't know. I could see it possibly happening because if AJ Styles is tied up with Randy Orton and Samoa Joe's tied up with like the US title, I can't really see anybody else gunning for the WWE title in the next 30 days. I mean, there's Kevin Owens. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see them having enough time to properly build between Kevin Owens and Bryan. But I mean, they're two fantastic wrestlers, so if anyone can pull it out, they can. But I just think it's such a nice story, especially when you factor in Biggie and Xavier. I mean, Biggie was amazing in that little promo. I mean, he just everything kind of struck together perfectly when he was stood next to Vince, and like just the physical look of him, he's huge. Yeah. And the way he was putting Kofi over and really just talking like a person talks, not like a promo. Like, because you can tell that with the New Day, their promos are not written for them. There was just here's some points to hit. Go. It
was almost like from the heart, like a genuine frustration.
Really was. Yeah. And that to me, all three of them guys could easily. I'm not bothered about the Shield anymore. I want to see them three implode. I want to see them three have a nice dynamic together.
I think Kofi will win the title at some point, and I think that will be the implode of New Day.
Yeah.
I think a triple threat between all three of them would be pretty cool to see.
They'd pull it. I mean, it's one of those things where they'd pull it out the bag because I think they feel they kind of have to, like with everything they've done.
Yeah, true.
I'd be excited to see that evolve over time, but I don't know.
I don't dislike the angle. I just think if it's not going to pay off at like Mania, then what's the point in really doing it? It's like blue balls in the entire like.
Yeah. Well, are they trying to make him like a Naily man and never gets there? You know, is that what they're trying to do with him and make him a?
You can't fucking tell with WWE, can you anymore?
I think he'll get it because I don't know whether they care enough about the WWE title anymore. I think Vince is all focused on this Universal belt, and I think like it's more like winning an Intercontinental title these days.
It's not, because it'll be a big thing when they move to Fox. It'll be a massive title because it'll be the only title that exists really for that brand. So yeah, they'll stick with it, and that's why it's been on Daniel Bryan for so long, is because they like it as much as they do. But yeah, I just think they bring Kevin Owens back. I think they brought him back to face Daniel Bryan at Mania, personally.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll be a triple threat. Maybe they'll involve Kofi, but I don't see him winning at Mania, and I just think it's a bit pointless to do the entire thing that they've done. If you're gonna do the build and let Kofi win it, but not at Mania, then do it after Mania finishes.
Yeah.
Like for me personally,
just got to see where they kind of go with it. Like I'm confident he can do it. Like I feel there's enough like momentum behind it.
Yeah, and there's more focus now on the smaller body size, isn't there, of wrestler that they're happier to push them to a title reign.
Yeah.
They're not everyone has to be like a Brock Lesnar or John Cena or these big body guys anymore, which is good really, because it's about ability, innit? And it's not about the look as much anymore, which is good.
No.
The triple threat tag team match for Raw was up next.
Match.
Really, I thought this was one of the best matches of the night. It was really good. Really good match.
Decent.
Ricochet and Aleister Black do the thing that they normally do. Lots of high spots and a little bit of a botch where Ricochet tries to.
I dislike that tag team.
Hate it.
Yeah, I don't get the reason behind it.
Yeah.
It's a real waste.
And
of
still
talent.
keeping them on.
Yeah, it is.
Like almost every week now, and especially just now after there's been like a pay-per-view, you've got Aleister Black and Ricochet wrestling on TV 3 nights a week. They do the pay-per-view, they do Raw, then they go on to SmackDown, and then they're all tag matches as well that they're doing.
You talk about diminishing your star power. There's nothing will bury you quicker than just having you out there every night doing something inconsequential.
It's like, why put them over as much as they did for them to not win the title?
I'm glad they didn't win. I'm glad they didn't win.
I'm glad they didn't win. I'm glad they didn't win.
I'm glad they didn't win it, but why beat the Revival as clean as they did for 3 weeks in a row? Whatever it was.
Yeah, it really doesn't. It doesn't make sense.
Like, why would you do that?
It was a really good match. There was a bit of a nasty looking botch with Ricochet. He tried to Hurricanrana Dawson, I think, to the outside, and they just sort of slipped and they all fell into a bit of a pile and stuff.
Yeah, were a bit nasty, that.
And then I think there was there was a few little things like that. Good spots that you get.
Bobby Roode's Spinebuster is magic.
I love his.
Yeah, it's so good, so good. But Dash and Dawson, I mean, stole the whole show for me, because you can see like each of those teams are really capable, but when it comes to just watching pure tag team wrestling, they do the whole old school divide the ring thing.
Yeah. Yep.
They're just real
proper wrestlers,
hard-working bullies.
Yeah,
and it's what you want to see from a heel tag team. And I hope that they keep giving them this time, because they wrestled a 45-minute tag match on, I think it was last week's Raw, I think. Or it might have been a house show they were talking about. Yeah, but they put a tweet up the other day about how they wrestled a 45-minute match against Rude and Gable.
It was
right.
And it was they main evented the house show. I think they closed the show on it.
Yeah.
Which is big, because they need to be pushing those guys, because otherwise, I mean, you look at AEW and they haven't got a deep tag division.
No.
And the Revival and the Bucks have got that past. So I mean, they'd get good money if they decided to make the switch. Unlike a lot of guys in the mid card in WWE, they are guys who could earn good money on.
I think this is the thing we talked about before, why we're getting like Ricochet and Aleister Black and things like that, where WWE are probably so worried about the AEW and the potential for their tag division that they're just flooding their own brand with all these tag teams and just making this tag team up. The trouble is, they've done with Rusev and Nakamura as well, done the same thing.
The trouble is with Dash and Dawson, it's all like they obviously expressed they were going to leave or wanted to leave. So I think WWE was like a bit scared, so they thought it'll give you the titles. What I'm worried is going to happen is they're going to get to the end of their contract, and then because they've got the titles and they're doing well, they're getting pushed and doing well, they're going to re-sign. And then Vince, in his petty little mind's going to be like, right, you tried to leave me, fuck you, I'm going to bury you to shit.
Yeah, I
agree.
agree.
They're tied into like another 5 years and they just can't do anything about it.
I think they should just leave, and if they want to go back to WWE, if they can make a name, Vince will have you back. It's proven.
Yeah,
He's not going to say no.
No, he wouldn't say no.
No, he wouldn't.
No. So, I mean, I think it's in their best interest. Do what they can with the belts now as soon as that contract's up. And Vince will respect them working the end of their contract as well, because there'll be a lot of guys who'll just try and
just sit
on their ass while the contract ends out. And I think they need to be out there. They need to do what they can do with the tag titles. But then you put those guys in the indie scene, and there is literally no roof on where they could go with it.
No, there's not.
I'm glad they won though. It's good that they're still holding those titles, because they're doing them a justice.
They are really good. We had the women's tag match. Sasha Banks and Bayley against Tamina and Nia Jax.
Not a good mix.
No,
it's not a good mix. It's not to say that
you pushed like Tamina and Nia Jax as like these absolute monsters, but then they get beat in really stupid ways.
They're just both shit. Like, why they're both shit wrestlers?
Especially Tamina. She's objectively the worst woman on the entire roster.
They're just both shit.
They are terrible.
Why involve them?
They are terrible.
Yeah.
And you take two. When I watch the entrance from Sasha and Bayley, when I watch wrestling these days, I tend to skip through a lot of stuff. Because I just can't, WWE anyway, I can't really stomach a lot of it. I watch NXT, but when I'm watching the main roster stuff, I skip.
Yeah.
It's the first time I remember hearing Sasha's entrance music and thinking, God, I remember when they were on takeovers. And they were just really exciting to watch wrestle each other.
All over it.
And now they're like
that Brooklyn takeover with Bayley and
one,
Bayley and Sasha Banks was amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, really good match.
And look where they are now. Look where they are now.
I mean, it's great that they're probably, I would say, between them and the Iconics, they're probably the right people to have the women's titles on for the first run of it.
Yeah. They need to get out of that tag scene quick, though. Break them up, have them have a decent position match at a decent pay-per-view, and then push them out to deepen these women's rosters. You think, we were talking just before about Asuka not having anyone to face. You've got Bayley and Sasha tied up with those tag belts when they're not even really a tag team.
No, but what I do like about it is how they're kind of defending them on any...
That's cool.
WWE show. I do like that.
That's cool.
I do like how...
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I don't know if it's been actually on TV yet or if it was just been taped and people have sort of shared the pictures where they get called out by Io Shirai and Kairi Sane in NXT and they turn up there and get into the ring with them. I do like that.
I'd like to see that.
I do like the fact that they've gone on to NXT to say like, well, yeah, we'll come and do it here as well. It was a bit of a non-match. Bayley, I think it was Bayley kind of did most of the work, got the pin in the end after Sasha had been thrown over the table, and then next thing Nia Jax is attacking Beth Phoenix.
I've seen a rape meme where it was Nia Jax throwing Sasha off that table, and it was like Uncle Phil, Jazzy Jeff, right off that table, just like, perfection.
It was really. She did throw her
so good.
Summer Force.
So good.
It was weird when they got Beth Phoenix out to do the commentary, and I'm like, oh, that's fair enough. It's a bit of a first real defense of the women's division. That's really cool.
The entrance tipped me off.
And then they kind of get her, then she gets attacked. She gets in the ring, and then she starts, going back, and then Natalia comes out. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's why she was there, because we seem to be building towards some kind of Natalia Beth Phoenix.
They just need more
tag team.
They just need more tag teams because they ain't got enough for a tag division. They made the belt. And then we're like, oh fuck, we haven't really got
standard WWE
anybody that can wrestle for this.
No,
and they just didn't think it through. Like they don't think anything through. They just went, yeah, new belt sound. Oh shit, who's gonna fight them? Tamina and fucking Nia Jax every single week.
They forget that the reason they have like tag teams in the lower divisions is because they've got too many shit wrestlers and they don't know what to do with them. And then when you realise, let's build this division, and then you step back and look at it and go, it's built of all our worst people.
Yeah. All of them suck.
Man, what are we going to do?
I didn't really thought it through.
They'll probably, I don't know, maybe they'll move it on. I saw that on, I think it was SmackDown, the Iconics called them out and said, we want to go at your titles. Maybe that'd probably be the next logical match to have it.
They'd be good.
I think they would be good because they are a legitimate tag team that are inseparable.
They'll win it at some point.
Yeah, I think at some point everyone's going to have a run on it.
Of course, yeah.
They
should have done like a Dusty Classic, but with female tag teams to bring into NXT, and started women's tag wrestling in NXT, and then brought it up to the main roster as you deepen your roster from the ground up. But I think they just got swept away with this whole women's revolution thing. They don't want to miss anything in case another company, not naming names, comes along and does things before them. Because WWE is all about, he's the first person to do this, or he's the first person who was born in this specific house in a specific city to win a title in this specific year. It's like they're all about that garbage.
Love it,
they do. I don't know.
Strange. It's a weird one with that women's division at the minute, but I don't know.
Things can only get better, right?
Yeah, I think they can. The 4-way match that they had originally started as just, I think it was just originally going to be Samoa Joe and R-Truth, and then after Andrade and Rey Mysterio had the match on the kickoff show, they then got told you're going to be in a fatal 4-way match for the US title.
Yeah.
Which normally makes you think, well, maybe they're going to put it on one of them. But then they didn't. No. Samoa Joe won.
Yeah.
I like Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's got some kind of recognition.
Always really liked
He's
Joe.
A real crowd favourite.
He's legitimate in a lot of ways, which is
kind
of
cool. But then I also hear stories about him being a big.
I know he got bitched
shit
out.
House, like little shit face
heel. I've heard he's
got
bitched out by a few people.
A lot of people have bitched him out.
It's like Taz. He's very much like Taz.
Just like Taz.
He's a lot like Taz.
He's the kind of guy that it looks like he'd bully her, and then as soon as you went for him, he'd squeal or something. But I'm glad he's got the US title because I do like him. And
it's nice for him to have something to fight for and use because he hasn't really had as it since like the AJ feud finish. He didn't win the title off him.
They missed a shot with that AJ feud. Like I was hyped to see some TNA carryover where it's like we've had a history and like we built an empire outside of WWE when they were at their biggest and we were at our smallest, and they could have really gone for a big story, but Vince is just like just make them have a match. It's just like it just felt like there's no context to anything they were doing when they first put them together.
It's like it's that thing where they just refuse to acknowledge any other company apart from Japan, which they do reference. Occasionally they do reference, they've had history in Japan and everything.
As a separate thing almost.
I don't think they see New Japan as a threat, but
different market.
It's because then like you say, they don't have a permanent market in Japan, so they don't really care. They see it as a different product. And I think a lot of people probably would, like, if you showed someone who wasn't really into wrestling New Japan and then showed them WWE, they'd think they were like as different as maybe kickboxing and regular boxing because they look totally different. They're presented different.
Yeah,
it's
presented as a sport in it.
The same, yeah, different place in culture.
Yeah,
fine match.
I thought it was pretty good. Really, it was all right. It was just solid.
No else to say about it.
Andrade and Rey are fantastic. Yeah, I think Andrade is he's worth more than this scene.
Yeah,
he is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He definitely needs a title run, a main title run. I think he will get one, but whether it's too late,
Intercontinental title run, get him off SmackDown. Yeah, get Shinsuke to Raw as well, and have them feud over the Intercontinental title, and let him do for the WWE belt what they did for the New Japan belt.
Oh, the New Japan one, yeah.
That'd be wicked.
Yeah.
That white strap going between them two guys. It'd be just you could put that over 3 or 4 pay-per-views and it'd be money.
Yeah.
It'd be wicked.
This Fatal 4-Way was good. I like Joe kind of did that thing again where, like he did it in the Rumble where Johnny Gargano was gonna sort of jump and he just walked out the way.
Yeah,
he did it this time where he was on the ropes and Mysterio was gonna do his 619 and he just got up and walked off. Like I do quite like that.
He used to do it a lot in TNA and he don't seem to do it anymore.
I've only noticed it recently. I've only noticed him do that.
He hadn't done it in ages.
No, I've only noticed him do it
like every match in TNA pretty much. Like, I just love doing it.
What's really strange as well is like, and I noticed when I was watching this match, his tope is really good, and I find that only big guys can do good topes.
Yeah, because they've got a lot of speed, aren't they, coming through?
Yeah, and I think
they've
got a lot of padding as well.
They've got to get it right as well.
Yeah,
there's no like, well, I'll just throw myself over here and I'll let my
Seth's
athleticism
is horrible.
Yeah.
And Sasha's even worse.
You've got to like, if you're little, you not got a lot of weight to move, so like you can just jump through and they'll catch you. But if you're big and you don't get enough, if you don't get enough speed, you're just gonna fall flat. And you clip your legs on the ropes and you're gonna hit your head on the floor. So you got to run as fast as you physically can to get out of the ring. So it always looks brutal when they hit into something.
He kind of like does it does it sideways on almost a little bit as well.
Yeah, kind of
a bit like a. Kind of like
crossbody type
flying
thing,
American football tackle kind of thing. So he doesn't go head first like some people do, which is when they then like catch the feet on the ropes and fall face first. He kind of goes a little sideways and gets everything in a line straight through. But yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah,
he deserved the win.
Nothing worse. He was the right person to take the title, I think.
I'd say so.
I'd definitely. They did have a triple threat match for the WWE title, but then it had turned out to be Mustafa Ali's return that came in.
Just didn't understand any of that.
Him and Daniel Bryan have I mean, it's not a history in any way, but they've had a couple of run-ins.
Yeah, I know that.
They've had a few decent encounters in the ring with each other, not necessarily in matches, but I think they can use Ali's sort of high-flyingness a little better in this kind of match. He did a 450 splash to the apron. It looked brilliant.
Yeah, it
looked really good. And I like the finish as well, like the way that Daniel Bryan kind of did a flying knee into him as he's jumping off the rope. I thought that was really good.
Well, they needed someone to eat the pin for this match, didn't they? Because you don't want to be spinning momentum off anyone at this stage.
Well, that'll be the point. Them two will be in the main event. Well, not the main event, but they'll be in the title match in Mania, I think. So you can't have like Owens eating a pin the month before.
Yeah, because obviously Bryan's not going to lose the title in that. You're not going to have Owen eat the pin, and they're pushing Kofi as a nearly man, so they're not going to get him the loss. So maybe getting Ali in and he's the one who takes the pin is probably maybe that's the right thing. That's the right thing.
I was going to say about Daniel Bryan, it's something that we were speaking about the other day, Rob, and it's really clever what he's been doing, because obviously Daniel Bryan is a very hardcore guy. The way he looks at wrestling is very, very hardcore. And obviously in WWE, you can't be taking headshots, especially if you're Daniel Bryan, and you can't really be blading or getting blood anymore. So I'm noticing at the end of the majority of his big matches, his chest is cut to pieces.
Oh, it's red raw, yeah.
And I think that's something he's probably noticed from guys like Walter and a few guys who are working on the indies, that you can make a match look super brutal if you finish it with a cut-up chest. So you'll find that in all his matches, he's getting the lads to just chop the living shit out of him. So by the end of it, the photos are getting taken and he just looks a bloody mess. But it's within that PG confine, and it's like there's nobody else doing that in the company right now.
No.
And it makes him look like an absolute savage. It's just really cool.
It just makes him look more brutal, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And some people do get marked easier than others, but I think it's definitely something that's more noticeable recently. That he's like, I've had this match. Look how hard I've worked. Look at the state of me.
He's been through a war.
Yeah, he's been through it. I first noticed it. I think it might have been before he sort of turned heel and faced Brock. A couple of weeks before, then he started doing it. But
it's on his
we've seen it in
kind
stuff.
of,
Like we saw that match with Keith Lee and Flash Morgan Webster in Manchester, and Flash's chest was like red. You know, it was just handprints all over it.
We saw the match with Walter and Mark Davis as well, didn't he? Where he just cut him to ribbons.
It's the first time I've ever really seen people genuinely concerned for somebody.
Yeah.
Every time he was getting chopped, and the noise, the air just got sucked out the room.
Oh yeah, it were great. I mean, it's really cool because it's this generation's version of the blade job.
Yeah,
it's what
pretty
like
much.
I mean, you look at
Look
Stone
what a
Cold.
war we've been through.
Yeah. You look at Stone Cold Bret Hart when he was dripping blood, and like now you'll be able to see matches that because it's not causing guys to get concussion. I mean, it's never going to be good for your health.
No,
but you can look at it and like. It'll not be long before we see guys' chests just pouring blood and these iconic photos of these matches that are really intense, but you're not putting people's lives on the line, and you're not like...
You see it a lot more in Japan, so maybe that's something that is a bit of a hangover, or not really a hangover, maybe a crossover from making it look more legit. Because we know that thing with like Fox taking on SmackDown, they want it to be more of a sport, and they're not as concerned about it being PG as much, but maybe that's making it look more like there's been an actual contest here where we can't sell a story of like two guys are fighting for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, even more, and then there's not a mark on either of them.
No.
It's time for a change from a marketing standpoint as well. Like if you're Fox and you're wanting to sell as much advertising as possible, you realise that we've had PG wrestling for longer than we probably had controversial attitude style wrestling. If you combine ruthless aggression and attitude era, the PG era has probably outlasted that by now. And you think like there's only so many kids who are watching this product. We need to make sure that we're not just getting them involved, we're getting everyone involved. And I think like you look societally, more shows like Game of Thrones and stuff like that, all the things that really get into the culture, they're all violent. It's coming back.
Definitely.
It's like people are more easygoing about that shit.
It went away, did it? But it's just finding the right time to like bring it back into it.
I think we are noticing it a bit more. Maybe that's testing the waters for little things that's going to get there, like with Daniel Bryan and stuff like that.
So.
I saw on
I'd like it to be like
again,
that.
I think it might have been a house show. I think it might have been, but I think Johnny Gargano had a match with Adam Cole, and Candice LeRae came in and did a reverse Frankensteiner on him.
Yeah.
It looked absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
looked really cool.
That's what you want to see, though. Like
I've been saying it since we started this podcast. It will be a thing soon,
and she will probably be the first to do it. I think
absolutely. She's I think that's what they brought her in for. In all honesty, I think that's the reason why she's there.
Absolutely.
Like, I think she will be the first person to wrestle an intergender match and not have it where the guy just hits her once and she just dies and falls on the floor. Like she will
gives
hold
as good
her
as she can get back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it'll definitely happen soon, and I think it's going to have to happen to
stay relevant.
Yeah, up with the markets, and I think especially with like this whole like International Women's Day like being around more, it feels like it's more like prominent than I think I've ever seen it in the past 5-6 years, where it's been a massive thing on like social media, and all these kind of women are like, obviously Captain Marvel came out on International Women's Day, and it's like that she's a badass character that's like having her own film and stuff, and she's fighting guys, and guys are beating the shit out of her, and like I think people are starting to realise that girls can actually do what lads can do at the same time, especially in a sport that isn't real. You're not actually getting beat up. If it was like UFC and fucking Holly Holm gets in the ring with Conor McGregor and gets the shit kicked out of her, that's a bit rough if she's like on the floor bleeding and actually generally getting beat up. But when it isn't real, what is it hurting to have Candice LeRae beat the shit out of like Johnny Gargano? Not Johnny Gargano, she's married to him.
Because you've got to factor in like
what goes on behind closed doors.
Well, this is true. It's true.
You've got to factor in that you have like women tennis players playing men and stuff like that. You say, with knowing it's not real, and if you can frame wrestling within the confines of it's a sport and there's rules, we don't fight with closed fists, which I mean, even though a lot of them do, technically that's in the rules. Stuff like that, which evens it out. So it's all about leverage and body movement and stuff like that. Even if you're looking at it from a behind the, like kind of in front of the curtain type thing. So if you're looking at it as presented as a sport, you could factor in, well, there's no reason why a larger woman couldn't wrestle a man because it's all about technique. And that could be one way to look at it, but it all just depends, because you've got two conflicting things. If you've got we want to make it look as brutal as possible, then we also want to focus on it being a sport and hopefully get women involved in the larger picture of it. But it's whatever the company wants to decide to go down anyway. So we'll see.
Last match of the night was was Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. Becky comes out with the crutch and
Can we just not talk about it? I just don't care anymore.
The whole match was just set up for Ronda to come out and cause something to happen.
Care.
I think
care, though.
Do you think it's just been pushed that much that that's where we're at with it?
I just don't care.
It's Roman Reigns. It's Roman Reigns on us. That's the problem with me anyway. And I don't want to be that guy going just because it's talk of the town, I don't like it.
You're totally right. I did care, and now I don't care. I just won't care anymore.
They just need it to be subtle.
There's no way you're bringing me back into that story again. There's no way I'm going to buy back into it after everything that's gone off.
Yeah.
After all the shit that's gone through, they've just mullered it to the point where it's just beyond mullered it. They have.
It's been bloody mullered.
It has been mullered. There's no bringing it back from where it is. Like you say, it was literally set up to get Ronda into that situation.
Yeah.
And then that's the way that Becky Lynch gets into the main event of Mania. By a DQ.
Yeah.
In what world does that make her...
She's not had a wrestling match in forever.
She hasn't fucking wrestled.
And she's lost.
How does that make her look well? How does that make her be like... Why?
The man.
If I watch that match and then she wins by DQ and she gets put into the main event, as a normal fan, why would I be like, she's going to win main event? That Becky Lynch. She's doing
the way I see it is, she got flogged by Oscar. She got flogged by Oscar. She cheated her way into the Rumble, which isn't even wrestling. You just got to trick him to go over the top rope, which she did. She's not been able to beat Charlotte.
Nope.
She's never got revenge on Nia Jax for breaking her nose.
Nope.
She's not done anything, but they're doing this whole like stupid Stone Cold gimmick thing where she's walking around calling herself the man, and it's like you were literally just done in every single time we see you, and it doesn't make you look like a plucky underdog. It makes you look like an idiot.
Yeah, makes you look stupid for thinking that you're as like good as you reckon you are.
And it's none of these women's fault because they're all class wrestlers. But
Becky Lynch is a good wrestler.
It's just terrible booking. I have not spoke to anyone who's gone, I'm excited to see that match. Whereas, like, I'd say 3 months ago, everyone was talking about it. But they've ruined it.
We could probably go back and listen to this first, like when it started on this podcast, and I was so into it. I was like fully up for it. I was like, this is wicked.
Yeah.
This is so good. How they were doing it. When it was like, I think it was when Nia broke her nose and she's like in the crowd, like bloodied up, like looking cocky as fuck, and I was like, yeah, this is wicked.
Sweet.
And now it's just like
she just needs to go on a winning streak.
She's really hurt. She's got a bad knee. She's working out with a crutch. Charlotte beat her up pretty much the entire match. She didn't really have any offense throughout the entire thing. Got the figure 8 in. If Ronda wouldn't have come out, then she would have just tapped out, and then that what does that leave us with?
Yeah.
What does that leave us with? And then she came out on Raw like she's fucking what's the saying? Cock of the
walk.
Cock of the walk. She's not cock of the walk. I didn't say cock of the north, but she's not from Sheffield.
Cock of the north.
She's not from England.
King of the north.
King of the north.
Cock of the north.
Cock of the north, but she ain't cock at north. She's not a cock of fucking out. What's the point?
Got a title for this episode.
Cock it out.
I 100% agree with you, man. It's like you can only go down that road so far before it just turns to like an obvious story that it's just gonna end. We know how it's gonna end.
Yeah.
We know how it's gonna end. Ronda's going part-time or doing whatever she wants to do.
Yeah, she's done.
I mean, to me, I want Charlotte to just win and just bury it all, just to finish and just give her the belt and just call her the greatest of all time, and then just be done with it.
Yeah.
Because I'm honestly, I wanna like it.
Yeah.
But I'm bored. The only thing I can say about it is I hope it closes WrestleMania so I can get an early night. Because I'll go to bed before the entrances. Like I'll just be like, I can't be done with this.
You're right.
Because it might be a good match, but I'm not interested in good wrestling without good storyline, especially at WrestleMania. Because there's no point in lowering your standards for it. No point.
Yeah, it's just pointless. It's just stupid.
It's just a shame.
Where does it go now? Where does it go?
Well, that's the thing. Like, what we've got another 28 days left yet. They're still going to be doing stuff.
They've blown the load on Fastlane and got her into the main event.
Ronda's just going to be like leaking the script online by that point.
Exactly.
It's like, there we go. It's not real. If
anything, they should have got Becky in the main event the week before Mania.
Yeah.
Like why? Because now there's no more build up or run she can do.
No.
The entire build up of her coming back and like jumping the barricade and getting banned was the fact that she wasn't in the main event.
Yeah.
And now she is. So what's the left for her
It's
to
just
do?
going to be shit promo after shit promo for the next few weeks until it comes on.
And if I was Stephanie McMahon, I'd come out and be like, actually, you didn't beat Charlotte. Ronda DQ'd you, so you're not actually...
It'll probably happen.
That probably will happen, because I was just about to say, maybe there's enough time, in WWE, there's enough time now for them to take her out of the match and then put her back in it again.
Yeah, there is.
I can't be bothered.
I can't be arsed.
I don't care.
Don't care
I cannot be bothered. They took the hottest angle of the last, I want to say 10 years, maybe 5 years. Really hot angle, like you say, when she had her nose broken, and then just ground it into powder.
Yeah.
No one's bothered anymore. No one's talking about it.
When that happened, that Survivor Series invasion thing, people were talking about that for weeks.
Yeah.
And it was genuinely one of we watched that and we're like, that's one of the best things we've seen WWE right for a long time, and it's done so well. It'd be better, obviously, if she wouldn't have, like, concussed or whatever, and she couldn't.
But even if she was, they could have just said
but...
she was suspended, and she could have just done, like, maybe not promos from home. Or she could have maybe just not said anything for a few weeks, and they could have just raged on her. And then she could have just appeared when she was better again, and then just beat them up. They could have put her in a match. She could have beat Nia Jax. Exactly. She could have beat all these people.
WWE think that if you like took them off TV for 1 week, that people forget that they exist. Like, happened with Punk when Punk won the title and then left.
Yeah.
When his contract expired. He should have been home for like a month.
They took
2 months.
Sting off TV for a year in the 90s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For a year.
Exactly.
But like we said this the other week, like
Punk came back a week later. And
yeah,
it's
they
like,
take them off.
You're back now, mate.
They take them off thinking, they'll miss them. They'll not, they've not seen them for a week.
Time to miss them.
But they forget there's things like social media. There's Twitter, which is
Always,
arguably where Becky Lynch did most of her best promo work.
Yeah.
Was her tweeting shit to Ronda Rousey and getting her riled up, and now that's gone to too far of an extreme where it's like this looks like two people bitching, and it's just a bit awkward.
It's never going to work.
It's a bit awkward to read.
It's just fucking stupid. It's like what at this point, if you're not wrestling each other, why? It's just like me and a random person from the other side of the world just having an argument on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like what are you standing to gain? What are you standing to gain if you're not in a wrestling ring actually fighting them? If they were built like, and I get it now, they're building to a match because they've got the actual Mania match. But in theory, Becky Lynch was never going to be in the main event because she was A, suspended past Mania, and B, wasn't in the main event anyway. So why would you argue with a person that's in it when you've got, in theory, no real way of getting into that match?
And if you win the Royal Rumble, you get a contract for the main event of WrestleMania. You don't.
Exactly.
There's no caveats to that contract.
There's not.
Yeah.
So just cash that in.
And she didn't even win the Rumble because Fit Finlay said she could go in it.
Yeah.
Who's he to decide?
I don't know.
Who's Fit Finlay to decide who goes in the Royal Rumble?
It was Lana Ware that came out.
Yeah.
And fair enough, Lana's not going to win it, but why you can't just I couldn't so that mean right, if I'm a wrestler, if I'm a absolute curtain jerker who's got nothing to him, no name, and then somebody like, I don't know, whoever's 30th is limping out and I'm stood next to Gorilla and I think, oh, fuck, he's not going to make it to a ring here, this lad. Yeah. And he's not going to get there. And I just run past him and just bump him back at head and then just run to ring. Do they have to by proxy go, Ethan Platson now in the Rumble? Like, is that how that works?
I guess. Well, I mean, if you were to look at that Rumble, then yeah.
Do you know what
that's exactly how it works.
Literally what happened.
What a lot of this writing looks like, there's an episode of The Simpsons where they have to come up with a new holiday. And they're in this writing room, and this guy goes, I don't know, I just call it Love Day, but it's like not as bad. And then the next scene is Marge going, Happy Love Day, everybody.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happened. Someone's gone, put her in it somehow.
Figure it out.
Don't tell me why you figure it out.
She takes someone's place, but not that stupid. Just think of something, and then the next thing
is the exact same.
We're like, brilliant.
I would rather watch that lava lamp there than the main event.
I have been. I've been
staring at it. I can't figure out how it works. How does the lava lamp work?
Okay, on to Raw. On to Monday Night Raw. It was all right.
Pointless episode of Raw.
I think it took.
There was a couple
I don't know.
A couple of good things.
think it took I think it took too long to get going, but when it got going towards the last hour, I thought it was pretty good.
It's not a film, Rob.
No, but it was like it's just slow to do anything, and then everything happened in the last
8 hours
hour.
long nowadays.
Well, but normally when you look like if you see like the ratings, there's normally the first hour is the biggest viewing, and then it goes down and down.
Yeah.
This time it was more like the other way around.
Yeah.
It was really nothing really happening at the start, and
really.
We've got this thing like with Kurt Angle's said, came out and said, right, I'm done after Mania. That's going to be my last match.
Thank God for that.
Just do him in old yellow.
Like old yellow. He does like just an old beaten.
Like a hard-boiled egg in a singlet.
He does like a hard-boiled egg. I feel like I want to crack.
I love Kurt Angle. I do. I love him.
Oh no, mate.
But it's for his own good. Get him out of there. He is one spinal fusion away from just being just one solid like lamppost of a human being.
When they brought him in, I get the initial plan obviously was to bring him in, and he was gonna partner Ronda and take her through, and basically help her through the match at Mania that they had with
like Mickey.
Yeah, like they had the match with Triple H and Stephanie. But then they had the incident with Reigns where him and like Bray Wyatt and JoJo all got ill.
We're all doing roids.
So
I don't know what was happening.
They had like glandular fever or something, didn't they?
Something like
and
that.
then
Probably
he's like, and then he became
glandular fever,
something like that. And then he had to take over his spot, and he was in the Shield. And then he comes out with his t-shirt on and his tactical vest.
When he come round corner like smiling,
he's like a proud dad,
lad,
like
getting a hang out with the boys.
Yeah,
did look
like that took all the shine off everything. That took the shine off everything for him.
Yeah,
and then they started recently. He's losing to Baron Corbin, then he's losing to Drew McIntyre, and then he was in that World Cup tournament in Saudi Arabia and he lost in the first round. I'm like, what are you doing to him?
What are you actually doing here?
Take him off just make him be the general manager again. At least he was like funny, like that.
At least people liked
still
him.
of him where Triple H is about to clock him and he's like looking up, whistling. At least he was entertaining.
Yeah, he was quite funny.
Yeah, they've got WWE have a hard on for heel authority figures though. They can't stop it. I hate it. It's boring. Yeah,
it is a bit.
Just have a nice guy. Remember President Jack Tunney? I loved President Jack Tunney.
Mick Foley was like the commissioner. He was great when Mick Foley was commissioner.
It was just refreshing. It's just nice to have a guy who's like, we care about you and your best interests. We're going to get what's right for you. But I guess that's the real world and that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think they're like you said, they're happy to go down the route of evil authority stamping on people than really good guy authority saying, you know what, you're not going to do that, I'm going to put you in that match and you deserve it and this title and all this kind of stuff. And
it's nice that's
to me is more entertaining.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's sports, isn't it? I mean, like, I know there is corruption in sports, but at the end of the day they do go, actually the crowd really like you, so we could probably earn more money with you, so fill your boots, kid.
Exactly. I think the other segment I didn't really get is Alexa Bliss comes out and does a moment of Bliss.
Well, she just doesn't wrestle anymore, does she?
What's wrong with her?
Why though? Is she not cleared again?
Must not.
Because she's been doing house shows.
I know she's been doing that. Last I seen her, Royal Rumble, she had that backflip knee stomp or something.
They haven't got out for her, have they? What have they got for her?
Well, maybe that's the point. Yeah, maybe that's it.
What have they got? Ronda's tied up with the belt.
SmackDown could probably do with a bit of talent.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But,
drowning.
Yeah, but there's no reason.
She must be done in. She must be fully done in.
It's her knees because she doesn't bump properly. I hate why she
don't bump properly.
She takes a bump and she somehow from a flat back bump ends up on her legs on her knees. I'm like, what are you doing?
Splits him right back. Yeah.
You're just gonna ruin your knees, and that's probably what it is. She's probably just broken inside. She can't wrestle anymore.
Maybe she's not cleared. Maybe there's something happening. But maybe, like we were saying before we started recording, like they didn't have hosts last year, but the year before they had the New Day, which was literally just there to bring the Hardys back. So maybe there's a return or something, but I can't think.
Remember when Hulk Hogan was the host?
Yeah, it was like Hogan.
They were better days.
Was it Hogan,
before
Austin,
he was a
and The Rock? And they
that was
kept calling it the Superdome, and it's like the Silverdome. We're not in.
I remember when that was the worst thing he said.
There was a time when that was the
good times.
Yeah.
Bless him. He tried though, didn't he?
Bobby Lashley won the IC title back off Finn Balor on Raw.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Don't get it. Don't care about it either, to be honest with you.
Here's Finn's little push.
I'm past that
take
title
that away now.
I'm totally past that title.
Do you remember when The Miz made it really relevant?
Yeah, because he held it for like 8,000 years, and I'm like, this is good.
Yeah,
he's doing well here, and now he's just shit again.
Like I said, they need to have that back as the workers' title. Because Finn Balor can work, but before that, it's just like the US title. It's just a gimmick comedy title to put in the mid card to give someone something shiny to hold.
The worst thing I remember seeing about the US title was when Dolph Ziggler won it and then came out and just put it out and went, "You don't deserve me as champion."
I forgot about that.
And I'm like, well, what's the point in winning it?
I thought they were going to do something with him, but
there weren't any point, were there?
He's a write-off.
Like most things in WWE, they're in the point. They just do it because they can.
Booking on the fly, isn't it, mate?
But do. I bet they do. I
don't get
that. In Gorilla and they're like, you can win tonight. You win Bobby Lashley tonight.
Lashley's a waste and all, though, because when he came back, everyone was like, Lashley Lesnar. That's what we'll see.
Yeah,
Lashley and Lesnar. That's what we want to see.
Instantly, that's
Could you imagine the poster, both oiled up, staring at each other like you know what I mean?
Oiled up.
Both just oil them both up and just have them staring each other down, fists in the air.
Is that a job role?
Oiler?
Yeah.
Gotta be.
I'd love to apply for that.
Just oiling big men up.
Not that I like to
bet
oil
it
big
stinks.
Men, but I'd like to oil some big men up.
Just slap your hands together.
That sounds really weird. I don't want to
rub them down.
I don't want to oil big men up in my part-time or spare time. But
if that's a real passion of yours, I imagine it's not a difficult industry to break into.
I don't want to be a part-time oiler, but if
all you need is a CRB and a can of oil and they're fine.
If they were like,
off you go.
If WWE put on their website, because they've got a jobs page, if I'll sometimes look on it just to see like if I could ever apply for it. Not that I could ever do it.
What kind of jobs are they? Like writers and
like creative team, road agents, all kinds of stuff. And I sometimes look and I'm like, maybe one day I'll just send my CV and just for laugh. And I just wonder, like, they should just put up like full-time oiler. And if it's a good wage, I think I'd apply for it.
Do it.
think I'd do it.
It's probably one of the
like
gimmicks
a
in the
water boy.
80s.
Like a water boy, just like a water boy, but an oil.
Big can of oil on your back.
Kind of. I've got like a belt, like
anything premium oil
with some oil cups in it.
Castrol GTX.
Yeah, different. Which one do you want? Which one do you want, Brock? Castrol or GTX? Castrol. I've got Johnson's, baby. John Johnson's. Go on and sound.
This one's got a bit of elderflower in it.
It smells lovely, this, Brock.
Right,
Nice lavender in this.
God,
mate, your hands will be soft as old.
You feel tense today, Brock. You all right? How are you doing?
I don't know what they're doing with Balor at the minute.
I don't know what they're doing with Alt.
I don't know.
Keep saying this, mate. I don't know what they're doing.
We had the Batista Triple H sort of
hey,
promo.
My boy.
I think this
that.
was probably one of the best parts of the night.
Of course it
actually.
is. Batista's involved in it. He's the best wrestler in the world.
of all time.
I love him.
He's a good lad.
I quite liked his promo of him just shouting like, "Give me what I want."
Give me what I want. I've seen so many like when you drive past McDonald's and you're asking your man to go in. Give me what I want.
I can't wait for the Triple H to bury him at Mania. It's gonna be really good.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to
So
happen.
excited.
Well, I mean,
You're saying that Triple H doesn't really win at Mania much.
Dave did have a thing where when they talked about, he said he
Call
wanted to
him
do
Dave
house
for-
shows. He wanted to do like because he said he wanted to come back for a few with Triple H, do a few house shows.
Yeah, he
Batista.
did actually.
So I don't know. He might
Don't
stick
call him
around.
Dave.
I can call him Dave. We're on
Call
personal terms. I've read his book.
Have you?
You haven't, you prick.
No, I haven't read his book. I couldn't think of it worse than Dave Batista's book. to be
I don't know.
honest
It was great. It's a great read. It's kind of not like written like a book. It's kind of just a word and then a paragraph explaining that
Slide it
word.
around.
There's one that's just called heels, and he just explains what a heel is. And there's like one that's just called lifting, and he explains weightlifting. And it's like
with you.
it's broken down really easy. I think it's probably made for people with brain
He
damage.
took like a load of like Advils and just like thought of random words and just wrote a sentence about each one.
He keeps going back to how much of a dickhead Bubba Dudley is, though. He really, really hates
Does he
Bubba
not
Ray
like
Dudley.
him?
Hates him. Absolutely despises the man.
What would you have to like about Bubba Ray Dudley when you think about it?
He's
like,
constantly using words like bully and prick. It's brilliant.
Really?
Yeah, he hates him.
I've
Piece of
never heard that
shit,
before.
actually.
Never
A
heard
real
that before.
piece of shit.
I read the was it Justin Roberts' book where he goes after JBL and says how much of a bully
We
he
need to do a
was,
JBL episode.
and how
we can
he
do that. Ding ding ding.
Can we open it with a cowbell? Ding,
Yeah.
ding. Is there a cowbell in here?
There might be
Imagine there is
somewhere.
somewhere.
where he made him get
I
off
just
one
thought,
coach that was in front and get on the one behind that
That's
he
funny,
was
though.
on,
That's funny.
just
though.
so he could bully him.
That's funny though. I think that's quite funny. We should. I just thought of an episode we could do. We're in the room that we're in. We should try and recreate wrestlers' entrance. themes.
Wrestlers' entrance with the instruments. That
I mean,
were in the room.
I have zero musical talent. You two have got quite a bit between you.
Are you ready?
I think we should do an episode where we just try and
Recreate
like cover
some
We
instrument.
should cover
recreate
some like
them.
cover
Jesus.
wrestlers' themes. I think that'd be quite hilarious.
I mean, how much of it can we cover before we get slapped with a cease and desist?
Well, I mean, if
I
it's us playing it, then it's like an artistic interpretation. isn't it?
Covering it.
Do you know what you should
Maybe.
do? Like, you ever like listen to like shit films where they obviously didn't get the rights for songs, so they play that. They'll create their own sort of version of that song,
Yeah.
and then just put like one key different,
Yeah,
where it goes
yeah.
up or down like
Yeah.
like one scale,
Yeah.
where it's obviously the same song, but they can be like, no, that's our own creation.
I
We wrote
once saw a kind of really poorly made like Beatles documentary that was just using like stock film footage of the Beatles, and the music in the background was just like like that, and
Yeah.
it came up with the name of it, and it was called like 60s Combo 1 or
Yeah,
something, like, and it's just like,
don't-
is this meant to be Beatles or
like,
something?
do.
Yeah,
It's like obviously
really
not
bad
the same
60s
thing.
pop stuff. Or like, that's clearly meant to be them,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Just
I think
can't be
Phil
asked to
Collins
pay
was
for
in it as
Of
well,
course he would.
like, talking about how he would have been mates with John Lennon. I'm like, no, you fucking wouldn't.
Why would he?
He wouldn't be mates with you though.
Why would he
you
be
prick.
mates with John Lennon?
Because he thought they'd get on.
I think
Brilliant.
everyone thinks that a little bit inside.
Probably.
You look at John. I don't think John Lennon dislikes many people in his elder life.
Nah, but
later
you'd
years.
think he wouldn't get on with Phil Collins.
I don't think anybody gets on with Phil
Nah.
Collins.
Peace, love, but fuck Phil Collins. I don't know why.
Nah.
Crazy.
God almighty.
Raw was Raw. What about SmackDown?
Well, we have missed a little bit of a. It's not really a debut, but it's a person debuting on Raw. Where Shelton Benjamin comes in after the Shield's done their little breakup kind of speech, and they left Seth in the ring, and then Paul Heyman comes out, does a bit of a promo, and then out of nowhere, Shelton Benjamin comes in and just German suplexes him.
See,
Yeah.
when I went for my usual YouTube Raw highlights, which, you know, is what
It's
it
not
is.
really research.
There were none of that. Like, literally, they didn't even have it in the video I watched. And then
No.
it just popped up on my Instagram. Shelton Benjamin stood next to Paul Heyman. I'm like, when did that happen? Oh, last night.
I read it
Interesting.
as like they're prepping Shelton Benjamin to be the next Paul Heyman guy when Brock probably drops the title to Rollins at Mania and then disappears for 6 months.
To be honest, they could have picked people with more shelf life.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're probably right.
He's wicked. They need to bring that old theme song back.
I love Shelton Benjamin.
Ain't no stopping me, yo.
I don't know who they would have really.
Is his mum alive or is she dead yet?
I think she's still alive.
That one in that wheelchair that used to come out like an auction on.
Was that even really his mum?
I don't know.
Probably not.
It was funny though. Get her back out. Yeah. Get her to take like a suplex in the ring or something. That'd be quite funny.
He's kind of been lost. I don't know if has he been injured when he's been on SmackDown. Has he just
had
nothing for him?
He was paired up with Gable.
Yeah,
one of the Gables, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, not one of the Gables. There's only one Gable. What's
one of the American Alphas?
American Alphas. That's the word I was looking for.
The one that's been around recently and not
the one that's not on TV.
Dangerously crippled and possibly weighing up a career in writing.
That's probably.
Well, I think he's. I saw a bit of a backstage clip. Actually, it might have been when Roman Reigns announced that he was taking time off because he had leukemia, and they showed you a little bit in Gorilla, and you could see Jason Jordan in the background. So he's.
By the way, I'm back.
Kind of like hanging around, and I think I read something where he was kind of like learning the ropes of being creative. And,
I'd do that.
And writing.
Do you know if I had naught to do like if I were like a Zack Ryder of the business, I'd just stand in Gorilla and watch people.
What Triple H used to do. He used to just sit learning how all the cameras work and everything, like plotting his takeover.
Punk did the exact same thing when he was like in ECW and Heyman still had something to do with it. He would stay late with Heyman, and Heyman would show him how they cut a TV show, like how they produce a TV show.
He's made a film now, Punk, hasn't he?
About
what? Girl on the 22nd floor or something. It's a horror movie.
Yeah,
some shite probably.
Yeah, sound SmackDown.
Yeah, let's move on to SmackDown.
Oh, actually, I'd like to say that I like Roman Reigns as an opponent for Mania and Drew McIntyre. I think that's going to be quite a good match.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was announced.
Yeah.
He attacked him, didn't he?
Yeah, they sort of did the...
I like Drew McIntyre.
Oh,
I'm gutted he's going to lose to Roman at Mania.
Yeah, it's a bit shit, isn't it?
They've done the kind of like the Shield is done with now, and that kind of thing's all been...
How long before the cancer sympathy wears off for Roman Reigns?
Hot question.
I don't know.
How long before he gets booed out of the building again?
Yeah. I think the break would have done him good anyway, even if he'd have just gone away for a few months.
He needed it either.
I think he would have done.
The situation isn't great for him.
I think he would have, if he'd have just had time off and it wouldn't have not been for that. I think if he'd have come back, he'd have been getting cheered. I think.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's a tough one because I mean, if he takes more time off, like if he's kind of beating it, and then they go, should we just milk it for a few months? Yeah. It's kind of like, cause I mean, David Meltzer has been, he's been in bother for saying like, oh yeah, he didn't even really have chemo.
I know,
and it's like, but he
Meltzer didn't say that, did it?
Yeah, he did, because he said he's taking oral pills or something.
Any person that didn't think it was
first
real
he did
was like, shouldn't be a fan of the business, something like that.
He said that the extent and the severity of the cancer wasn't kind of expressed to the audience, and he also said something about...
I actually don't think I would disagree with that. It wouldn't surprise me if it genuinely wasn't that bad of a cancer.
He said something like he was taking pills, this oral pill. Someone took a picture of him taking this pill, and he said that's not chemo. But then the US Cancer Foundation or whatever corrected him, saying there are different types of chemo.
Yeah.
You're wrong, but he's gonna have them on his podcast or whatever. And he did go hands up. Yeah. I'm wrong, but it seems like territory where you just go, probably avoid that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't really talk about that.
It's like when he was talking about women's weight, and you just think, Dave...
Yeah, he made a really sort of shitty comment about Peyton Royce, saying, she looked better when she was in NXT or something, and like she looked better in NXT, she just looks a bit thin now. I'm like, that's a bit of a shit thing to say.
Stop being a dickhead, Dave.
Yeah.
David.
Yeah. Dave Meltzer won. Stop being a cunt.
Should we move on to SmackDown?
Yeah. What happened in SmackDown?
So the first...
I love SmackDown because it's very short.
Yeah. Isn't it? You can just...
It's kind of like what Raw should be,
I don't mind watching
really.
SmackDown because it's like, I'll get through that. It's all right.
Well, first thing, Shane McMahon came out in his new heel persona with his Best in the World trophy out there.
I like that. I think it's quite funny.
He grabbed Justin Roberts, didn't he? Or is it not Justin Roberts?
Greg Hamilton.
Greg Hamilton. He grabbed him
3 times and made him reintroduce himself 3 times to him.
Say it with conviction!
I think it's quite funny.
And then just booked himself a match against The Miz at WrestleMania.
He said his dad's face looked like a baked potato.
Yeah.
He does.
I think though, if anybody, Shane's probably the one that's got the power to say like, we're having this match.
Yeah.
There's a photo of Shane grabbing his dad's face, and he just looks. I feel very sad when I look at it. I'm like, what are you doing that to him for? Because I bet he were like, can we get what's his like Mr. Miz?
I don't know,
his
just call him Mr. Miz.
Mr. Miz. I'm like, can we get you Papa Miz? Can we get you involved? And he's like, probably like, yeah, you could do something.
I like that.
And then he grabbed his face, and it looked like a right hard grab, and I was like, he's just an old man, don't hurt him.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You look right sad.
A bit of a weird angle though, that.
He's a weird angle.
The whole thing of like, I just want to make my dad proud.
Like, you've had title for 600 days as an Intercontinental title.
And that's lovely,
you nearly had 2 kids.
You're nearly 40.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
How much of a prick is your dad? But he's still not telling you he's proud of you. He's somehow showing up to all your WrestleMania matches with a shirt on, and you still don't think he's proud of you.
They should have done an angle where he's like, he just wants his dad's approval. And like, win a match, you look up, and his dad's just in the crowd with like arms folded.
Shaking his head.
Just shaking his head. And he's like, and he like hits the canvas and storms to the back, and then next week he's like wins again, like wins a title. He looks over and he's just like,
like rom-coms where the dad doesn't make the recital and the kid sits down with the tuba and looks into the crowd. There's one missing empty seat, and you can just hear his heart break.
That's what they should have done with Miz. That would have been a good angle for Miz's dad.
A little steel chair which says reserved for Mr. Miz.
Yeah, that'd have been good for Miz's dad. But
someone online made like a reference to Talladega Nights where they should have just had a little promo of Mrs. Dad picking his tickets up and then selling them
straight away afterwards. Yeah. I love that moment. I love one of the best moments.
Scalping his tickets.
They got 2 tickets. Anybody want 2 tickets?
Yeah, that'd have been great.
Right, good.
That'd have been funny.
Right, good.
I enjoyed Randy Orton and AJ Styles.
Good promos.
I mean, that'd be a good match.
Fantastic.
That'll
be good. And it's quite.
If they both turn up, it'll be good.
Yeah, it was one of these matches that's kind of like it's kind of come out of. Not really much. Just the last couple of weeks, maybe we saw the start of it at the Elimination Chamber, but it's kind of come out there now, and you're like, actually, that'd be really good.
I like the whole line about getting tan with Dixie Carter while I was building the company or something like that. That's a nice line.
Really went after each other.
Wrong.
It's kind of like what they tried to do with AJ and Cena, but better because you feel there's conviction with Randy because you feel like Randy does look at the indies and go, what a bunch of pricks. Whereas like Cena, you kind of feel like you're a nice guy, like you know when you're belittling AJ, you kind of like actually you're really nice. Where you can see Randy kind of being like, you're a bum, you're a dickhead. It's taking you this long to get here. What an absolute pleb.
They riffed off each other quite well, and they kept going. They didn't really stop. It didn't.
A little too sweet. Randy
really,
threw
really
up
cool.
as well when they were talking about ripping people off. Like, I think if they keep going,
AJ Styles said you just ripped off the diamond cutter.
Yeah, he did.
He said, we're talking about ripping off people in the business, and then just looks at his hand and throws a little too sweet up.
That's quite clever.
It'll be a good match if they turn up, because there's been a lot of matches that I've thought that'll be great, but then they don't fucking show up, and it's just like
simple wrestling, isn't it? I'm like looking forward to seeing the next month of them just going back and forth.
It ain't rocket science. It's just a classic feud, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a bully.
That's what feuds used to be. Somebody comes out and's like, I don't like you, and they're like, I don't like you either. It's like, right, let's fucking wrestle then. It's like, that's all it needs to be, isn't it? Really.
Let's oil up and wrestle. Where's Ethan?
so it's not. It just ain't rocket science. That's all it needs.
You want to wrestle? I will see you, Ethan.
Get over here, son. I slipped over. Happens quite a lot. He's leaking.
That's all it's got to be. It ain't rocket science.
Yeah, but you ain't cut your nails.
No, can't go then, can we? Next week, yeah, we'll call it a day.
Imagine that.
I can't imagine it. In knowing WWE, I won't put it past them.
Kofi Kingston came out again, kind of trying to prove his worth. Like, one thing to mention actually in the sort of title match from Fastlane is the crowd were heavily chanting for Kofi
Mania and stuff
Kofi Mania, we want Kofi, and fair play to WWE. They didn't mute it out, which they normally do.
I feel like they're going to get it though, and then they're not going to like it, the fans.
Yeah, build it up too much.
I can't think of what to compare it to, but you know when you really want something, like you really, really want something to happen, and then it happens, and you're like, I only wanted it because it weren't happening.
Yeah.
It's like
I do it all the time. I buy something, I go,
why did I buy that for?
What's next?
Yeah. It's like you want.
Just enjoy it first.
I don't think it's the same. It's like you want what you can't get, and it's like you want that because it won't happen. You're like, this would be amazing, and then it does happen, and you're like, right, well, I don't really care anymore.
Yeah.
I worry I hope it doesn't, because I hope Kofi gets a long run with the title and he has a really good run, and I think it'd be great. But I just worry that after a few weeks of him holding it, they'll be like, I want somebody else to.
It's like when Nakamura came up, and
you
wanted more than anything to see him do his Nakamura shtick on the
do something like crazy.
Big page, and then they just didn't.
Yeah,
they didn't book it right, and you can just see if he does win it, that belt over his shoulder while they carry him around throwing pancakes at people, and then eventually they're changing the strap to the New Day coloured one, and you just think like it's just going to go down a gimmick lane. Instead of being
the
natural progression would be like Kofi wins the belt, his attitude changes, he becomes a diva, and then they all fall out and just go in on each other while Xavier tries to keep it together, but like Big E and Kofi are like gunning at each other.
Big E needs a title run as well, I think, personally. I'd have put Big E on that title before Kofi myself.
He's to me like, Kofi would be great for now because he deserves it because of the work he's put in, but Big E's like, when he cuts a promo, that's coming right off the top of his head, right off his dome.
You just look at him, he's like he's a champion. He's an absolute unit.
He's a monster.
And like, I think I want him on the title more than I want Kofi. But if Kofi winning the title means that they implode and I get the chance to see that match, then I'm totally cool with that happening. But I just hope they at least give him the shot. Because it's like, the thing is, like, obviously they had the first black champion and all that kind of stuff. But once there's been one, it doesn't really matter how many more you have, because nobody cares about the second black champion.
No.
Yeah. So it's just gonna be like, if let him have it, let Big E have it, and then just move it around the roster and just let anybody hold it. Because at that point, the milestone's been hit. So if you want Kofi as your inaugural guy, fine, I'm happy with that as well. But at least let the other guys give it a shot and have a chance with it.
All these fucking glass ceilings they're breaking, and
do you know what would be pretty cool?
WWE champion.
It'd be pretty cool where it's like,
apart from the
Rock, but he's
Samoan, isn't he? Well,
triple threat, all New Day, and it's like being built around Kofi and Big E completely, and then Xavier just rolls somebody up and gets the title. And just becomes mega heel, like ultra mega heel. Like
he'd be a good heel as well.
He would be a really good heel, because he always was. When the New Day were heel, he was like an absolute cunt. I said it twice in one episode. Yeah, it would be like, I just feel like it'd be really good. Like not even like pay-per-view. Xavier gets put into the match because it's just all three of them, but doesn't want to be there, and he's like trying to split them all up and trying to like keep the fight neutral. Yeah. And then it's like the very last second, just schoolboys Kofi or something for the title, and then just kills Big E, like kills the New Day off completely.
See, these are the kind of conversations I don't think ever happen at WWE.
No, they probably don't.
I think they just draw like crude cave paintings on bits of paper and then just hand it to someone.
You do this.
And then just fucking chews it up in his mouth, spit it into a cup, and whatever kind of colour comes out, that's what they pick. They pour it into a thing.
What they do is they get a tin of alphabet spaghetti and they just pour it onto a plate, and whatever it spells out, it happens.
It's a write-off. Yeah. It's not hard. It's really like every other promotion. Even the crap ones, you look at it and you go, he doesn't like him, he doesn't like him. Yeah. They have a fight, he wins. Yeah. They feud for a bit. You just watch Rocky and just do that.
It ain't rocket science.
It's right easy.
It ain't rocket science.
Right easy.
Yeah.
It's too much like hard work for them all. They just think they make it more convoluted than it has to be.
They think they're writing a Pixar movie.
Yeah, they do.
And they're just not. No, they're not. You're writing wrestling.
Just two lads fight.
Wrestling.
Somebody wins, somebody don't. That's it.
That's all it needs to be.
All it has to be.
Yeah.
All it was back in the day for 80 years.
I did like the little promo that Vince came out and cut, and
I love Vince to the
made him. He's set up this gauntlet match next week.
I want Vince to win the title.
You know, if this was like,
I did like the little. We said it before. The little dig he had, where he's kind of at this little backhanded dig at Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks and stuff. Where he's said to Kofi, like, you're the one who works hard, and these two Young Bucks just take all the praise. And I'm like, that's clever, very good.
Is that what noise you made when you were at home?
Oh
no, because I read it.
Oh,
I didn't see that bit. I must have missed it.
I didn't see it. I think I was watching some paint dry at that point.
I was expecting Vince to say something racist. Like, if this was early 2000, he'd definitely come out and just gone, well, I'm going to be a racist because I'm a bad guy.
Yeah,
it's just like,
probably would have. I just think he's the greatest of all time, and I want him to win the title one more time.
He's lovely now, isn't he?
Do you think he could do it?
Vince.
Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants.
One more time.
Mate,
he can do whatever he wants.
If he's just like, I'm going to win the belt, I'll show him what it's all about. Like,
we're getting into sort of like late 90s WCW territory, though, aren't we?
Yeah,
if we do something like that.
Well, I mean, we already are with Ronda's promos.
Exactly.
Our fight's real. The rest of it's not.
Yeah.
Our fight's real.
Yeah. This one little section.
It's like Russo's just come back from the dead. Not that he's dead, but like come back from not writing anything and getting involved again.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they had the Goldberg-Scott Steiner shoot fight?
Yeah.
And they're like, they're going to have a shoot fight. This isn't going to be professional wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a real fight.
It's like, all right. Cheers, Vince.
What's happening here?
So what's the rest of it then?
Yeah, well, legit.
What else am I watching?
I think it's like a fall brawl or something.
I don't think I watched it at the time, but I've seen it, and I'm like, right, so Russo wrote that and went money and sent it off to everywhere that
Right.
Yeah. What a lad. When didn't Russo won the belt, didn't he?
Yeah,
and then he tried to, and then afterwards he's tried to like play it off as why he did it, and it's obviously not the reason why he did it. He just wanted to win the belt, so he made himself win the belt.
Why not?
So towards the end of it as well, when he made was it Jeff Jarrett, and he just made Jeff Jarrett like lay down and take a pin off.
It was a finger poke of doom, weren't it?
Yeah.
He got to play his own universe mode, and he just went hard in the paint.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Just went hard in the paint.
He made himself as a character and went, I want to win the title.
Why not?
He just played.
I'm having a go. I'm going to make myself like a really good player on Pro Evo and put myself up front.
Yeah.
I'm bored of this save.
Score eight,
I'm just going to have a laugh.
Look at me banging these goals in for England here.
I do it. I sometimes, on FIFA, I used to, when I used to play a career, turn sliders up so you could hit it from like halfway line, just go in no matter what. You're like, I'm the best in the world. I'm the best footballer there ever has
Look
been.
at how good I am.
Yeah. That's what Vince Russo
That's
pretty
what
much
he did.
And then it feels like, obviously Rhonda's a big wrestling fan, so maybe she was watching WCW at the time, but it feels like Rhonda's just gone to Vince and been like, remember when Russo ruined the business? I'm going to do the same thing.
I fancy a bit of that.
I want to do a bit of that. And then Vince has been like, yeah, all right, yeah, sound do that. And then she's just killed the entire
I think she just said,
business.
I've got this idea, I'm going to do like what Vince Russo did in the 90s and did that, rub the fingers together like money.
Yeah. Probably did. It probably honestly would not surprise me. I don't want to talk about that promo. I don't want to give it any light.
Are any of them at this stage actually drawing money, or are like people just like wrestling and just watch it?
Well, I don't know if they draw.
Like, what new people are going, oh, that's really interesting, maybe I'll watch. It's just the same old virgins.
Well,
do you know what I mean? It's just us lot. It's just us lot watching it.
Well,
it's like, it's nobody new.
Like, say, like, if you ever, like, look at old Cornette stuff, he would always say, like, if you can't draw, you're not working for me. Like, if you don't draw, you're not gonna work. And yeah, you're right, you're probably right.
The house numbers will stay the same. It's like
the house numbers will always be what they are
advertising
because kids grow older and maybe some of them lose their virginity and have kids and then their kids watch wrestling and then it's just a cycle. It's like an inbreed of like wrestling fans that just circle, turn around and churn new fans out. I'd love to look at raw numbers. Like they have in America the Nielsen ratings, don't they?
Yeah.
Where it's like what households have watched certain things. I would love to know if there's like any new watchers weekly. Like how many new families tune into Monday Night Raw or SmackDown and watch an hour or like 2 hours of wrestling?
Healthy person is going, I know what my life needs that it's never had before.
There may be
a bit of pretend fighting.
They may be getting more of that because I know there was a thing this week where recently on all of their social media have got over 1 billion followers.
Yeah, but that's
Are they not all Indian accounts though?
Probably.
But
it's
it's more
in India
people,
creating 500 accounts.
It probably is.
Well, it is more people
like
like
Sasha Banks.
You get to a certain point where it just becomes a rolling stone, doesn't it? And you can't stop it. If you have 800 million followers, it only takes one person. It only takes 3 million of them people to retweet a tweet, and then another 3 million people follow it.
True.
And then it just gets to the point where it's just too big to kind of handle anymore. But you got to remember, they've got about 800 accounts. They've got like one for every country. They've got all the.
Yeah. Speaking of WWE UK, the absolute slimy sods.
Oh yeah.
Stealing our Instagram format.
Yeah.
Scumbags.
What was that all about?
I think they've just taken...
very close, wasn't it?
I mean, I don't think they've seen it.
No.
They won't have seen it.
Well,
it just looked really...
It just looked right similar.
It's different font, isn't it?
It's a different font.
Layout, kind of.
Yeah,
like our red bit's bigger, but it's just a clear square over a thing square, isn't it?
Go to @TheLightsPod on Twitter and like look at... It probably won't be the most recent post since once this comes out, but if you scroll down a little bit, we put them next to each other. And it does look a little bit like ours.
There's definitely similarities in there. Yeah. Maybe there's not enough to sue them, but...
There might be, though. It's worth a shot, isn't it?
Imagine if we try it and they just go, oh, here's 50 grand, go away. Maybe we should try it.
Yeah.
Or we could at least get a letter from them. And then we could
I
put it online.
Let's get a go. We can go small claims.
It'll go 3 ways. It'll go, here, that's ours. Look what you've done. You've copied us. And they go, right, piss off, here's a bit of money.
Yeah.
And we're like, nice one. We can buy a studio and some proper stuff like great.
Yeah.
And talk about their product and give them free advertising.
Loads of stuff like that. B, we'll just get a cease and desist for ours. Mm-hmm. And they'll go, you can't use yours anymore. Yeah, bugger. Or 3, which is probably likely.
You just said...
A, B, and 3.
You went first off, B, 3.
Fucking hell. I did that.
I like partridge.
So, and then...
Go on.
And then third or C, whichever one we're talking about, they'll just not do out.
Yeah. Well,
that's probably the most likely.
Nothing ventured,
do you know what the best thing will be? Whoever put that tweet out just gets fired.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained. How do we go about it? I don't know.
Maybe there's some intellectual property.
There must be a process to go through.
To say that you've copied our format.
Yeah.
that nobody sees.
I think we should genuinely try it.
Yeah, why not? Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Nothing gained.
Can we finish SmackDown? Feels about
we
as
pretty
long
much
as
have,
Monday
to be
Night Raw.
honest.
Have we?
That's pretty much it. I'm not talking about Charlotte and Becky. And
that was
that
was a load of
nothing else really.
No,
we already have talked about it.
Sonya Deville lost to Oscar.
Don't care.
And they're teasing another, second part of the potential breakup between her and Mandy Rose. No,
Samoa Joe got pinned clean by Rey Mysterio.
Yes, he did actually.
Yeah,
that was another good match actually.
Urinagi'd everyone.
Yeah. Also pointless. Why would you pin him clean?
And Rey, his costume looked like he just had a little thong on.
Yeah, it was really weird.
It was like a beige costume with like a little black panty bit on it.
Yeah, it was.
You know he's got tattoos, but yeah, he wore a skin-coloured leotard over his entire body, and then just a little pair of trunks.
I don't want to be that guy, but he looks like shit. I remember he was posting all these pictures where he was all like ripped, and then you see him in the ring.
Steroids, mate.
Yeah, probably. I love it when they're like in the indies and they're just juicing up to the nines.
Veins, the gills.
Why don't they just allow it? Like, I'm sure in Cirque du Soleil they don't get piss tested.
There was a reason for
Pretty
it,
much the same thing.
The entire thing kind of crumbled down around Hogan, didn't it, in the 80s? But I don't remember the reason why.
Well, it's because the whole thing was that
it was sports entertainment.
It was sports entertainment, but the thing around it wasn't necessarily that you were using a performance-enhancing drug. It was that someone was supplying a banned substance to people, basically.
And it wasn't really equal opportunities. It was like, do these, or you're fired.
Yeah.
Or you're wrestling
pressured into
the Ultimate Warrior every week.
Yeah. But at this point, what you do behind closed doors, just let them do it.
Just get a bit of pump on, mate. Looks
Yeah.
good.
It is a bit weird.
It looks good. I don't understand
I'd juice if I were a wrestler.
And I mean, when they go, oh, it kills you, I don't think it's that. I think it's just all the wimpy burgers and the bloody cocaine.
Yeah, that probably does
now we just all sit playing video games. Like,
I don't think it'd really bother him much.
There's no scientific study to show that roids kill you.
Brian Cage definitely eats 800 milligrams of roids every 5 seconds.
Oh, he's a beast.
But I think he's just a bit of a nerd, so he just doesn't really do much. He's all right. He's just massive, and his heart might be going a bit fast, but
you can get yourself to a point where you're so big that your skeleton and your heart can't support you or pump blood around your giant.
But you can take it to that edge and then just hold it there, can't you? And you'd be right. Let's do that to everybody. Let's get Samoa Joe on some steroids. See what happens.
He'd look good. Who would look the best if they started taking steroids now?
We'll try it between the three of us.
Should we get a go?
Just all do gear.
And
falls flat dead.
Somebody goes to the gym, somebody just eats well, and then somebody just does what the normal life is and just takes steroids.
Let's not tell anyone with any scientific knowledge.
No.
And then just publish it online.
Yeah. Just like everybody else does with everything.
We'll just get Vice to publish it. They'll publish fucking anything.
They might publish us. They might get them into the studio and tell them we're doing a Red podcast.
Scumbags.
So that was WWE this week.
Knowing me, knowing you.
What I will say is there's this Sunday Breed Wrestling, or a Sheffield promotion, are having their second event. This time it's the Sheffield City Hall.
Yeah, wicked venue that.
Really good. They put some photos up of kind of what the venue's going to look like, and it just looks like a grand old theatre again, like pretty much
class.
Similar to what they did at the Aberdale Picture House the other week. But they've got their second show coming up. You can still get tickets, actually, if you just go to breedwrestling.co.uk. We'll put a link to the ticket site in the notes for the podcast as well. And if you use the promo code LUCKY, you can get your silver tickets for 15 quid. There's two great matches. The card looks good as it is.
It does look wicked.
The TK Cooper is having his first defence against Lucky Kid.
That'll be wicked.
That'll be a real good match.
TK
and then
Cooper.
Chris Ridgeway against Ilja Dragunov.
That'll be mint.
That'll be
a great match. That
for 15 quid, if you're not doing it on Sunday, why would you not go to City Hall and watch some mint wrestling?
Yeah.
It's at Breed Wrestling on Twitter as well if you want to go check them out and see what they're doing.
Yeah, they're on Instagram as well under the same username. But check those guys out because they are really good.
Changing the game.
It's just nice to see a new independent promotion.
Yeah,
especially
and
in
they've
Sheffield.
really done.
Yeah, Sheffield of all places.
Some of the guys, the talent that they got in on that first show was absolutely
wicked.
Mint.
Yeah,
like
really
some of the guys that we've seen quite a lot in Progress and other places and stuff
really
like that.
Cards.
So hopefully it's the start of something really special for them, and they can really go from strength to strength. So
definitely
that'll be it.
Try and get them on the podcast at some point if possible.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely try and do that. We always said we'd probably never have guests, but we probably will make an exception for them.
Yeah,
we probably will.
And Hulk Hogan.
Always welcome.
And a lot of other people that I could probably think of. Off the top of my head.
Yeah, to be fair,
I don't
really think we'd turn anyway. I think we were just
Probably
undershooting. Like, I don't even want a girlfriend.
Yeah, probably.
Why would I want that?
I feel personally attacked and insulted right now.
Mate, you're living the dream.
Check that show
I'm probably
out.
not allowed to go on Sunday.
Check that
Just
show
listen
out
to
on
this anyway,
Sunday.
so it's fine.
It's fine.
Check it out on Sunday.
Yeah.
I think it starts at 8 o'clock, but get there early. But there's
Go for
plenty
some
of tickets.
food in town or something. Go bungalows and get some fried chicken and
Get
chips.
some nice food. There's a
Rob, break your vegan. Let's go bungalows for some chicken and chips.
I think I do vegan.
You miss salt and pepper chicken and chips from bungalows.
We'll go somewhere else and I can have something.
They do
vegan.
They do vegan food.
Oh, sound good there then.
All right.
Helmets do a vegan mayonnaise now.
Do they?
Yeah,
throw
they
that
do,
in there. Tasty.
So we'll probably be there Sunday.
Aye.
So we'll be definitely checking it out. I encourage everyone else to do it as well.
Definitely.
There's still tickets online. Like I say, just go to breedwrestling.co.uk.
Yeah.
Visit their Twitter, visit their Instagram, and we'll link the ticket site in the show notes.
Also visit us at the
And then,
Lights
yeah.
Pod on Twitter.
Oh, we could really use it.
Staring at the Lights on Instagram. We're on Facebook, Staring at the Lights. We haven't used it yet, but go and like us if you use Facebook.
Yeah.
If you're old and you post really awkward selfies, go and give us a like on
I've
there.
not even seen that page. I'm not on Facebook, so I don't know.
Well, that's why I'm not surprised you haven't seen it then. Have you?
That's a good point.
Get on Facebook.
Millennia.
That's it. And then check out anything that we do write for RGM.press as well.
Aye.
Because we do.
We've not done it for a while, have we? But we can
Bunch
probably
of
do
good
that.
lads.
We've got a lot of stuff. We've got a lot of like the sort of biggest moment
Mania
of the
coming
year
up,
coming up, haven't we?
yeah.
So there will be stuff that we'll be
We
putting
can
out.
write a fair few things.
There'll be a bit
for
of
those as
gear,
well.
a bit of gear kicking about.
But yeah, until then, we'll see you.
Bye bye.
See you later.